to get to. I do want to start with developments with regard to Russia and Ukraine. The president met one-on-one with President Zelensky. Both sides called that meeting productive. Afterwards, President Trump criticized Vladimir Putin's attacks on Ukraine and said, quote, maybe he doesn't want to stop the war. He's just tapping me along and has to be dealt with differently. As the Democratic leader in the Senate, you're a member of the so-called Gang of Eight. You see intelligence about how the war is going. Are you supportive of these negotiations?
Welcome back to Right View Nation, the home for truth, patriotism, and common sense. If you're tired of the mainstream media lies and the left-wing spin, you're in the right place. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's dive straight into it.
Well, look, my great fear, Dana, is that Trump will just cave into Putin. That's been the overall indications all along. And of course, the bottom line is very simple, that if we cave to Putin, if Trump caves into Putin, it's bad in three very bad ways. Number one, to just abandon Ukraine after all the sacrifice that they made, after so much loss of life, and with the rallying of the whole West against Putin, it would just be a moral tragedy to undercut Zelensky, which I believe Trump is headed in that direction. Second, it tears asunder our alliances with Europe. The Europeans have stood up for us. The whole West has stood up for us. They put in money. They've used all kinds of diplomatic and economic tools to back us. And how is Europe going to trust us ever again if Trump backs out? But third, and maybe worst of all, it's a sign that the United States is weak. It sends a signal to every dictator in China, in North Korea, in Iran, that if you stand up and bully Trump, you're going to get your way. So I am very worried about where he is headed. I think that he is in a position where he feels he can sell out Zelensky. He's sort of saying yes one day, no the next day. But overall, the trend is very...
So, folks, I just watched a clip where Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, the guy who's been part of the swamp for decades, went on a full-blown panic spree because President Trump had a meeting with President Zelensky from Ukraine. Now Schumer's biggest fear? Oh, get this. He's terrified that Trump might cave into Putin. Schumer is practically trembling on national television, trying to spread this fear narrative, because that's all the left has: fear, division, and paranoia. But let's step back, my friends. Let's really think about this. Schumer claims that if Trump doesn't keep writing blank checks to Ukraine, it would somehow be a moral tragedy, a betrayal of the West, and would make America look weak on the world stage. Excuse me? Weak? Since when did endlessly funneling American taxpayer money into a foreign conflict make us strong? Last time I checked, strength is standing up for your own people first. This is the same Chuck Schumer who sat silently while Biden and his cronies botched Afghanistan, abandoned American citizens, and handed billions of dollars of equipment over to the Taliban. And now he wants to lecture us about moral tragedy and strength? Please, the hypocrisy is sickening. Let's be honest here. President Trump understands something that these DC elites will never grasp. America first. It's not just a slogan, it's a necessity. Trump doesn't want to cave into Putin. Trump wants to stop wasting American lives and dollars fighting endless wars that have nothing to do with our national security. Trump knows that the goal is peace through strength, strategic negotiations, leverage, not giving away billions in taxpayer dollars with no accountability, not sacrificing our economy, our military readiness, and our children's futures for wars that Europe's rich nations should be stepping up to handle themselves. And another thing, Schumer is worried about losing Europe's trust. Are you kidding me? Europe needs us more than we need them. They've been free-riding on American protection for decades. Remember NATO? President Trump was the only one who had the guts to tell them to pay their fair share. He didn't pander to them. He didn't bow down. He stood up for the American taxpayer. Meanwhile, Biden and Schumer are happy to sell out hardworking Americans just to get a pat on the back from the globalist elite. It's disgusting. Schumer claims that if Trump doesn't keep playing into this Ukraine saga, dictators like China, North Korea, and Iran will be emboldened. Let's set the record straight. It was under Trump's leadership that Iran was on its knees economically. It was under Trump's leadership that North Korea came to the negotiating table. It was under Trump's leadership that China didn't dare move on Taiwan. You want to talk about strength? That was strength. Peace through strength. Not weakness through endless spending. My friends, don't fall for the fear-mongering. Don't fall for the swamp's lies. They are terrified, absolutely terrified, that Trump is coming back. Because they know he's going to clean house again. They know he's going to put America first again. They know he's not going to sacrifice the future of our children for endless foreign wars. We pray for peace. We support real allies. But first and foremost, we protect our borders, our economy, our families. That's real patriotism. Not empty slogans. Not writing endless checks overseas. Not virtue signaling on CNN while Americans are struggling to buy groceries. That's why they hate Trump. That's why they fear him. Because he represents you, the American people, not the lobbyists, not the warmongers, and definitely not the globalist elite. So to Chuck Schumer and all the fear-mongering leftists, we see you. We see through your lies. The American people are going to show you exactly what real strength looks like. This is Right View Nation, where we don't apologize for loving our country. We don't back down. We don't cave. We stand tall, we stand proud, and we stand with Trump. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.